Longtime Fond du Lac middle school science teacher Ted Eischeid is retiring and moving out west to the last frontier to be with his wife in Alaska. He was at the Fond du Lac School Board meeting earlier this week and read a statement that starts out, after 25 dedicated years of service as a science teacher at Tyson Middle School, I'm sad to say I won't be returning next year as a Fond du Lac teacher, but sadder still for me is what appears to me to be a school district in decline. And Ted Eischeid joins us on this segment of the show. And Ted, great to see you, and congratulations on your retirement. Best of luck in Anchorage, Alaska. Is that where it is, Anchorage?
Yes, that's where I'll be relocating to in about a year. So thank you.
What are you going to be doing there?
Well, moving the house up this next year, and also continuing my public service on the county board locally. But after that, I'm not sure. I have a lot of different ideas, and I'll do something interesting.
I think I made the suggestion you should host a reality show, because it seems like there's about a half dozen Alaska reality shows on TV.
Well, there is. And, as a teacher, you're always a bit of an actor. So that I could be an actor on one of those new guys in Alaska.
So on your way out, you wanted the school board to hear some things that have kind of been building up for the last couple of years, and how the direction that the district is heading, how teachers have been treated since the passage of Act 10, and you let them know.
Yeah, in an appropriate way. My motivation was this. Act 10's a reality. I understand I'm still here, but it's what I've seen since Act 10 has been passed in Fond du Lac compared to other school districts like North Fond du Lac, just to our north. And what I've seen is essentially a top-down administrative style that really says, do this, do that, don't critically think, don't evaluate, just shut up and do it. And as a passionate teacher, and as somebody that wants to do the best for kids, we teach our kids to critically think. We teach our kids to be reflective. I don't see our school district doing that with its own staff. So as I leave, I want to give voice to my students and my colleagues on what is happening for the school board, so they can consider it. Because I'm a board member, I'm on the county board of supervisors, and I don't think they really know how people feel on the county board. So, in the Fond du Lac School District. So I thought it was my responsibility as I left to let them know in an appropriate way that I see the ship is kind of sinking. And I think they need to start asking questions and write it, because for our kids, for our future, I think it's important.
You're not opposed to new initiatives.
Oh, no.
You just
no.
But what you're saying is, all right, sit down and talk with the teachers. Ask us what we think.
Yeah, and let's have a discussion, a dialogue. And I think what I've been seeing the last 4 years is just a lot of new initiatives, oftentimes not the best training. This last year, standards-based grading, I think I'm a pretty fast learner. I had a hard time figuring that out.
Explain for the listeners what that is.
Standards-based grading is a different way of grading, where rather than having an assignment or a test grade, everything's related to a standard students are expected to know. And conceptually, it makes a lot of sense. But it's how you implement it that matters. And it's kind of like anytime you have a new program, if you don't really prepare people that are implementing the program properly, oftentimes the program doesn't come across so well. So I know there's a number of students that don't like it. I know there's a number of parents that don't like it.
How has it impacted students?
I think it's caused some of them quite a bit of worry, especially some of our more talented students. So, and what I mean by worry is, they have to figure out, how do I get, a 4 or a 3, and what does that mean? And I've had some of my talented students, they're stressed about how to achieve at the level they've used to achieve at.
Students are concerned they may not get into the college that they've been looking at getting into.
Yeah, there's some unknowns and some stress that comes with that. And I don't think we need to add any more stress to students.
You also expressed concerns that since Act 10, a number of teachers have been leaving the district. Not retiring, but leaving.
Yeah. Yes. And
more than usual?
I think so. I mean, I didn't present hard data. That's really the school board's task, and I would like them to do that. Look at the 4 years before Act 10 and the 4 years after Act 10. I did get some data for the first 2 years after, and I'm just going off the top of my head, but this was just teaching staff, Fond du Lac School District. There were approximately, I think it was 113 teachers that resigned or retired. And we all know, some of us know that after Act 10, a lot of teachers retired shortly after that. What I was surprised at was the number that resigned. So there was like 56 of those 113 that resigned, 57 retired, almost a 50-50 split. And I don't have data since for the last 2 years, but I continued to see people resigning, leaving, not retiring. And that data is out there. Let's compare ourselves to other districts like North Fond du Lac, where some of our resigning teachers are going. I'm concerned about that because I have some pride in Fond du Lac, and I want us to have the best teachers and to keep the best teachers.
Well, what kind of an impact does that have when you've got teachers with 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience leaving the school district to go to another district, and then, of course, to replace those teachers, you hire kids right out of school?
Yeah, and, new teachers coming in right out of college, they have new ideas, they're very creative. We want those new ideas in our district. But what we lose is some of the mentoring and some of the reflective thought, because sometimes you have to be a veteran to, basically pose the question that everyone's thinking about, but everyone's too scared to say. And I think teachers, by and large, since Act 10, have been too scared to say anything in this school district. And I'm not really critiquing Act 10. I'm saying we can do better here under Act 10. Like go back to our old collaborative relationship where we actually problem solve teachers and administrators together, common educational problems.
For years, students would come into the school district under open enrollment. Mm-hmm. For the last couple of years, the school district has been losing more students than it's been gaining.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Why that's happening?
Well, as a taxpayer, I'm really concerned about that, besides as a teacher. I think that the district has gone ahead with these new initiatives and has not involved people, not only teachers, they have not involved students, they have not involved parents to the amount or to the extent that they should. And I think a number of parents are seeing good teachers leaving, and they're saying, maybe we should go to the places where these good teachers are going. And I'll just give an example. This person resigned. I hope she doesn't mind me using her name, but Sarah McVeigh, our high school choral teacher, is leaving the district. A young 30-something, I think, teacher, loved by students, admired by staff. She's leaving. If I was a Fond du Lac School District, I would ask her, why are you leaving? And collect that kind of data so that we don't lose our best players, if I can use that analogy. No one has asked me why I'm leaving, and that concerns me.
You kind of wrapped up your statement to the Fond du Lac School Board by discussing what you described as mismanagement regarding the Cardinal Columns issue, the Fruth Field financial facade, the youth baseball facility issue. When you think of those three issues, Cardinal Columns is the high school newspaper where the superintendent initiated a censorship policy and then later took that back after he was concerned about the image that the article portrayed on the school district. That action actually generated national negative publicity, ironically, for the Fond du Lac School District. Fruth Field, where the school district borrowed money to pay for a $1 million entrance, and they're nowhere closer to getting that money back today than they were a year ago. The youth baseball facility issue, where they changed the lease agreement with Fond du Lac Baseball Inc. What are your thoughts when you think of the attention that's been placed on those issues and the hours put into those issues by the school district administration?
Well, I guess I'm sad about these kinds of distractions, and I think these are some of the reasons why students are leaving. And I really feel that if the district would go back to a collaboration model and utilize a broad-based decision model that involves a lot of people, we wouldn't be making some of these missteps. So, I guess these distractions have hurt us. I'm proud of Fond du Lac. I'm embarrassed by these things. And I think if I work for the Fond du Lac School District, I want to be a part of the decision-making so that I own the embarrassment. But, I think it just goes to show that we've gone in Fond du Lac a different route since Act 10. And I think other school districts have not gone that route. And
what's at the root of the problem here, in your opinion?
Well, I think the root of the problem is, since the school district has all the power, they have used the power solely and exclusively. They've not been inclusive, and they've made poor decisions. And I think the root of the problem, the solution needs to be go back to the collaboration model, which worked. We weren't in the paper. We weren't in the news. We didn't have these embarrassing moments. I remember that era. We did that from the late 90s till Act 10. And we saved a lot of money. We didn't hire consultants to solve our educational issues. We actually did it as administrators, school board members, teachers, parents, students. I think that's a better way.
Retiring Fond du Lac Tyson Middle School science teacher. My kids loved you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
As did thousands of other kids over the years, and you're going to be missed in the Fond du Lac School District. We wish you the best of luck in Alaska in whatever you choose to do in the years ahead.
Thank you, and I'm going to miss my teaching. I'm going to miss my students. I really love my students, and I'm proud of my time here, and I just hope that their future is as bright as possible. So that's why I made this statement, and I trust the school board will be reflective and will consider what I said and do their oversight function. There is a better way, and I want to leave Fond du Lac moving in that direction.